The Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, turns 25 this year, and I just can't believe it. I saw this movie when I was young in theaters. I saw all three of them in theaters, and I was blown away by the story of this film, the scope, the special effects, the practical effects, the characters, the music. It was just magnificent all the way around. It was our generation Star Wars, and Peter Jackson really directed this movie incredibly well. Like, he knew what he was doing behind the camera, and he had a great vision for the Lord of the Rings. And it was a home run. This entire trilogy worked, and they're a lot of people's favorite movies just because they're just so special. They really are. And like, The Hobbit came out after, and even The Hobbit couldn't like match the greatness of the Lord of the Rings, because this was a passion project for Peter Jackson. And you can tell while watching this film by every frame of the movie how much love and detailed that Peter Jackson put in these films. It is just masterful. Like, this movie is incredibly well directed by Peter Jackson. It's 3 hours long, but it doesn't feel like it. The extended cut is even longer. It's nearing like 4 hours, and I think that these movies feels like 1 hour long, and it just is an incredible achievement. These movies are everything to me. They are my religion. I love these characters, and I would spend my entire life in Middle Earth if I could. The storytelling is wonderful. The Fellowship of the Ring is just a landmark in cinema. It will forever stand the test of time because it has aged really well. There's a few shots where you can tell, like, Hobbit actors, especially, you can tell some of them are kids. It's not really them, but overall, the movie really holds up well. It's my favorite film of all time. The cast here delivers iconic performances. I love everybody in this cast. Elijah Wood is excellent as Frodo. You couldn't have put somebody better in the role, even though like the main character is supposed to be like 50 years old in the books. Whatever, you just have to accept it. Gandalf is legendary. Ian McKellen as Gandalf is absolutely legendary in this film. He is my favorite character in the film. I just love Ian McKellen as Gandalf. He is really fantastic. Viggo Mortensen is absolutely wonderful as Aragorn. Like, he owns the role as Aragorn, and I am so sad that they're gonna recast the role for the Hunt for Gollum, because he just became Aragorn, and he is perfect for that role. Sean Astin is wonderful as Sam Gamgee. He is my favorite Hobbit of all times. Billy Boyd and Dominic Monaghan are both outstanding as Merry and Pippin. I absolutely love them. I love when they team up with Frodo and Sam on their adventure. And Sean Bean is just awesome. Sean Bean is one of my favorite parts of the Fellowship of the Ring. He is just excellent as the corrupt Boromir, who later finds his redemption. Orlando Bloom plays the part really well of Legolas. Like, he is probably my least favorite actor out of all of these, but he plays the part well, and he is an excellent elf in my opinion. Jonathan Rhys Davies is excellent as Gimli. He's one of my favorite parts of these films. He brings humor and levity to any situation, even though he wasn't really funny in the books. They sort of changed his character here, and I think that it works to a great effect. The rest of the cast, Liv Taylor, Hugo Weaving, Kate Blanchett, and Christopher Lee, are all incredible in this film. Like, nobody is bad here. Everybody brings their A game, and I love this entire cast. This entire cast is probably my favorite cast of all time. Everybody loved what they were doing, especially like Christopher Lee as Saruman, who is the only cast member who met Tolkien, by the way. And he is just absolutely perfect as Saruman. Like, you buy him. I know that he wanted to be Gandalf at first, but he is just really perfect as Saruman. The film also takes its time to build the suspense, and it introduces us to the characters, and slowly we are introduced to the world of Middle Earth, especially in the great opening of the film of the Fellowship of the Ring. We learn about the ring, and we learn that Sauron deceives the men, dwarves, and the elves after they each are given one magic ring, and he has made his own ring in secret. Three rings for the elven kings under the sky, 7 for the dwarf lords in their halls of stone, 9 for mortal men doomed to die, 1 for the Dark Lord on his dark throne, in the land of Mordor where the shadows lie. And he has become the Lord of the Rings, and he wants to conquer Middle Earth. And so, between one last alliance of elves and men, they stand against Sauron. And there's this great battle, this awesome battle at the beginning, which is like the ending of the second age of the world. And we witnessed Isildur against Sauron. His father dies, sword gets destroyed, and then he gets the sword, and Isildur cuts off Sauron's finger. And the battle is won there, but they need to destroy the ring in Mount Doom, where Sauron created it. And so, of course, Isildur doesn't destroy the ring; he keeps it for his own, and he is killed by orcs. His body falls into the river, and the ring it just disappears for millennia until it is found by Gollum, by Smeagol, who was fishing that day with his cousin Diego, and he finds the ring and he keeps it for himself for 500 years, and it corrupts him. And he becomes a creature known as Gollum. And Bilbo finds the ring. All the events of The Hobbit, he finds the ring. And our story opens 60 years later, where it is his 111th birthday party in the Shire, and Bilbo is expecting a lot of people at his birthday party. And the opening of the Fellowship of the Ring is just magnificent. It is a magnificent opening. I love how inviting the Shire feels. And it almost feels like they took the Shire right off the page from J.R.R. Tolkien's works, because when you read it, you almost imagining Peter Jackson's version of the Shire, and it just is beautiful. It's a great landscape. The score by Howard Shore is simply amazing. It is my favorite score of all time, just because when I listen to it, it instantly brings me back to Middle Earth, and it draws me in, it relaxes me. I love being in this world, listening to this score while watching the incredible landscapes of New Zealand. Howard Shore is a masterful composer, and he really did an excellent job composing the music of this movie. The Shire theme is my favorite song in this entire thing. It is really fantastic. And I love that in the extended edition, there's this extended scene about hobbits that's in the books, but it wasn't in the theatrical version. I much prefer the Lord of the Rings extended versions of the films rather than the theatrical version. I love the Bilbo and Gandalf reunion, where Gandalf's like, "What about very old friends?" And then Bilbo opens the door and he finds Gandalf. It's just like a heartwarming scene. I just love this moment so much. They celebrate Bilbo's birthday party. Bilbo puts on the ring on his finger as a prank, and he disappears in front of the entire crowd. And Gandalf intercepts him. He stops him from leaving in his home, and he tells him that like magic rings shouldn't be played with, and he wants Bilbo to give him the ring willingly. Of course, Bilbo has trouble letting go of the ring, and so he gets angry, he gets upset, and then Gandalf sort of uses his magic powers, and he calms down Bilbo. I love this moment so much. And Bilbo finally manages to get rid of the ring, and he gives the ring to Gandalf, which I think is a really great moment and shows how much it affected Bilbo, but it also shows us how much Bilbo is strong as a character to leave the ring behind. And so Bilbo leaves the ring to Frodo. Frodo comes back home and he meets with Gandalf, and Gandalf tells him to keep it secret, to keep it safe, and he leaves. And in the books, he leaves for 17 years, while in the movies, it doesn't really say how much time passes, but it doesn't feel like 17 years. They're probably going to retcon that in the Hunt for Gollum film. But Gandalf goes to Minas Tirith to investigate the One Ring, and he finds out that this is Sauron's ring because he reads a manuscript from the last alliance between elves and men and Isildur's fight with Sauron, and he comes back to Frodo's home. Meanwhile, while all this is happening, Aragorn searches for Gollum, and he finds him in the dead marshes, and he brings him to the wood elves so that they can interrogate Gollum. So that's probably going to be what the movie is going to be about. And so Gandalf puts the ring in the fire, and he tells Frodo to look if there are any markings on it. And Frodo sees that there are, and he is informed that this is actually Sauron's ring. And so Gandalf tells him all about Sauron, and Frodo knows that now that he has no choice but to leave the Shire. And he leaves to be with Sam while Gandalf goes to see Saruman. And Saruman is a little bitch. He has turned to the dark side. He has allied himself with Sauron. He traps Gandalf in Orthanc, and I love the battle between both of them. It's really well done. It's intense and it's kind of scary. Just seeing how evil Saruman is. Sam and Frodo, they meet Merry and Pippin, and they are now hunted by Black Riders. I love the scene where they encounter a Black Rider. They hide beneath a tree. It's just a really well done moment, and it feels directly taken from the Ralph Bashki version of the Lord of the Rings, which is fine. Like, I know that Peter Jackson really enjoyed that version, and it was sort of an inspiration for him. And so they are hunted down by the ring wraiths, and they finally manage to get to Bree, where they meet Strider, who helps them survive the night, because without Strider, I think that they probably would have died. Yeah, Strider helps them out, and he takes them all the way to Weathertop. I love this scene. It is just so suspenseful. Like, it just like draws you into Middle Earth so well. It's just a really rich world, and it is incredibly well detailed by J.R. Tolkien and Peter Jackson. I give credit to both here because these movies are so well done. And so they get to Weathertop, and now the hobbits are hungry. They make a meal in under a fire, and of course that draws attention to the ring wraiths. The ring wraiths arrive, and they are attacked by the ring wraiths. Aragorn is out. He's probably like scouting the area or something like that, and the hobbits are alone, and they need to defend themselves against the monsters. And one of them arrives near Frodo. The three other hobbits are taken out pretty easily, and Frodo is alone with the Witch King of Angmar, and he puts on the ring. And it is so cool when you see them all in white, like they're ghosts, and like you can tell that there's no life in them anymore. They're just dead beings, and it is awesome. It feels like a horror movie almost. Frodo puts on the ring, and he gets stabbed by the Witch King, and Aragorn arrives just in time. And this was actually the first battle sequence that Viggo Mortensen filmed, because he was a late addition to the production, and he actually replaced Stuart Townsend, who was going to be Aragorn at the time. And Viggo Mortensen arrived, and he started with his first action scene, which was the Weathertop scene, and it was an incredible sequence, really well filmed. And Frodo is stabbed. He is near death, and so they go out and they search for medicine. Sam and Aragorn, and Arwen stops Aragorn with the sword to his neck, and she helps them. She takes Frodo on her horse, and she heads out to Rivendell as fast as she can. And I love this scene. It's incredibly suspenseful. They follow her, and now she manages to finally get all the way to the other side of the river, and they call out to her. They call out to Frodo. They want Frodo. They want the ring, but she tells them, like, if you want him, come and claim him. And they advance in the river, and there's a bunch of horses that come at them. There's this great flood that happens because of elf magic, and the ring wraiths are taken out. They're not dead because they can't really die, but we sort of later find out that's not true. They can't die, but whatever. They can't really die. They are taken out for the moment for this movie, actually. And Arwen manages to save Frodo. Frodo awakens, and he meets Gandalf, who tells him, and he tells Frodo, like, that he was delayed, and that Saruman has imprisoned him, and that he is sorry for missing his meeting with Frodo at Bree. And so Frodo visits Rivendell, and he is reunited with Sam, Merry, and Pippin. And he meets Bilbo again, and of course he is glad to see Bilbo, and he sort of has regrets almost about leaving the Shire, and I understand him because, of course, his adventure was full of peril, and it was kind of a hard thing to go through. We are now at the Council of Elrond, which is one of my favorite parts of the entire film. I love the debate. I love seeing all the races together, men, elves, and dwarves. They try to figure out what they're going to do about the One Ring. Elrond wants it to be destroyed, and they can't control the ring, and that's what Boromir wants. And I love the scene in the extended edition where Gandalf he uses, like, the dark speech of Mordor, which terrifies everybody, and it's just this awesome moment. But Boromir is really adamant. He wants the One Ring. I love his speech. One does not simply walk into Mordor. It's just become really famous at this point. It's an awesome speech. And so everybody argues at the same time. Like, I love Gimli's line. And Frodo, he can't stand it. Like, Frodo is just losing it. And he finally bursts out, I'm going to take the ring to Mordor. I'm going to do it. And it just shows you how courageous he is. And so Frodo decides to go to Mordor, Gandalf, and then Aragorn, and then Legolas and Gimli, and then the four hobbits arrive, and then the Fellowship is formed. This is awesome. This is an epic moment in the entire film. And then we get Pippin asking the obvious question, right? Like, where are we going? It's a slapstick moment, but I really love it. Like, I laugh every time. It's so silly, but it's just a great moment. And then we get maybe my favorite scene in the entire film. There's a lot of scenes that are my favorite scenes in the entire film because this entire film is filled with favorite scenes. It's just an epic film. The Ring Goes South is just beautiful. It's so well done. It's so well shot. It's got Howard Shore's amazing score that goes along with it, and we see every member of the Fellowship passing a rock. And it should be boring as hell, but it is just so well done. It is just so epic. I love it. I absolutely love this part. And then they are being watched by the birds of Saruman. They're being watched by the birds. So they go to the path of Caradhras. And then Saruman makes this avalanche, and they're stuck in the snow, and of course they're gonna die there, so they need to go to Moria, even though Gandalf doesn't want to. And so they go into Moria, they find the doorway, and Gandalf needs to find the password, and then it's Frodo that finally discovers the password thanks to the riddle. Speak, friend, and enter, which is actually melon, which is the elvish word for friend. And they enter the Moria, but they discover that the mines are now a tomb, and there are corpses of dwarves everywhere. And there's this huge squid that comes out of the water and it attacks Frodo. It grabs Frodo, and Aragorn and Boromir they slash at the thing, and Legolas manages to throw an arrow at it, and it lands in the creature's mouth. And they save Frodo, but the giant monster it crushes down the stone door of Moria, and they are now stuck there. They need to go to the other side, and it's the journey of a couple of days. And Gandalf leads the way because he already went there, and it's just an epic quest. This is just an awesome part of the movie where they head through the mines. I also love the scene between Gandalf and Frodo where Frodo says like, I wish the ring had never come to me. I wish that none of this had happened. And then Gandalf says, so do all who live to see such times, but that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us. It's such a fantastic quote because like it sums up our everyday lives as well. Every time we go through something difficult or some crisis, it's just a really great line. It's one of my favorite lines of the movies, and Gandalf is just a badass. Gandalf is seriously my favorite character of the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy. Full of practical sets. I love the city of Darudwelf. It is awesome. It looks great. It looks amazing. And I love when they arrive near Balin's tomb. It's just really sad when Gimli like finds his friend dead. He finds the tomb, and of course Pippin needs to make some noise. Pippin plays with the sort of corpse near the well, and then the corpse falls down with this instrument, and it makes a bunch of noise, and the orcs awaken. Like you can see the fear on everybody's face. But what's great is nobody like blames Pippin except Gandalf, of course, but like nobody else blames him because like he didn't mean to do it. It was an accident, and he just awakened everything there. The orcs, the trolls, and the Balrog. And so they battle a bunch of orcs. I love the action scene. The action scene is well done. The troll stabs Frodo, but Frodo has the mithril given by Bilbo, so he's still alive, thankfully. And they head out to the bridge of Khazad-dûm. The music there is just awesome. They head out, and there's a bunch of orcs that's coming down the walls, the pillars, and they're surrounded. And then there's something even bigger that arrives. It's the Balrog. It is just this menacing force of evil. Run! And they get out of there. They run for their lives, and they pass this sort of staircase. So they need to get to the bridge, and there's sort of this action scene. I actually really enjoyed this sequence. It's well done. But they pass the bridge of Khazad-dûm, and the Balrog arrives, and Gandalf does his badass thing. He yells, "You shall not pass! I am wielder of the flame of Ornor. You shall not pass." And it is just awesome. Like, this moment is really epic. And Gandalf breaks the bridge. The Balrog falls down, but of course he takes Gandalf with him. And it's this really sad moment in the entire film. Like, everybody grieves the loss of Gandalf. Now they're almost lost without him. Aragorn sort of becomes the leader of the Fellowship once Gandalf is dead. The only fake death in the Tolkien universe, which is good, I guess. I don't mind that Gandalf gets resurrected. I think that it's a good idea overall. And so they pass through the mines. They finally get out, and they head to Lothlorien, which is the forest where Galadriel lives. And they meet the elves. In the extended edition, this scene is like sort of prolonged. It's a little longer. They meet some of the elves before arriving at the forest, and of course the elves don't really trust them. But Aragorn sort of tries to talk to them, and they lead the Fellowship to the Golden Forest. And so they finally arrive at the middle of the woods, at the heart of the forest, where they meet Galadriel and Celeborn, and they rest there for a while. Like, I don't know how long, maybe like a couple of days. They rest in Lothlorien, and Galadriel is pretty kind to them, at least, and she is not the witch that we are led to believe she is. She is a kind woman. And so Frodo follows Galadriel to the mirror, and he looks inside, and he sort of sees all the terrible things that is going to happen if he doesn't succeed in destroying the One Ring. And he freaks out. He freaks out, and he gives the ring to Galadriel, and then she just bursts out in this brilliant ray of light, and she just yells a bunch of crazy stuff, and she renounces the ring. Yeah, it's a great scene. It's a great moment, and I love Galadriel in this film. She is really great. Kate Blanchett plays her beautifully. And so Frodo says that like I can't do this on my own. She smiles and she says warmly like even the smallest person can change the course of the future, which is just a brilliant quote. I love this quote so much. It's time for the fellowship to leave. Galadriel gives each member gifts. Like she gives swords to the Hobbit. She gives the light to Frodo, and she also gives three of her golden hair to Gimli. So they leave on boats through the river, and they are followed by Gollum. He has been tracking the Fellowship since Moria. They pass the Argonaut statues. These statues look magnificent. I adore this part of the movie. I just love the attention to detail in these films. They're so great. So meanwhile, Saruman is growing this Uruk-hai army, and he names the leader Lurtz, who goes after the Fellowship, and he sends like a bunch of Uruk-hai, like 200 Uruk-hai or something like that, after the Fellowship, so that he can bring them the hobbits. And so the Fellowship of the Ring, they set camp, and of course Boromir sort of is corrupted by the ring for a few moments. He goes after Frodo. Frodo goes alone, and Galadriel warned him, he goes after Frodo, and he tries to take the ring from him. But it wasn't his fault. The ring corrupts every person. So like, I don't blame Boromir for this, and he redeemed himself big time. Like when the Uruk-hai came and they tried to kill Merry and Pippin, he fought off all of them, and he took a bunch of arrows to the heart. And I love Boromir for that. He is awesome. And so yeah, the orcs, the Uruk-hai, they come, they attack in the forest, and it's a great action scene. It's really an epic moment. And there's this Uruk-hai that wakes up when Aragorn passed. He's supposed to be dead there, and then he wakes up. It's kind of a funny scene. There's a bunch of errors in these movies. It's fun to spot them every now and then. Yeah, the Uruk-hai, they take Merry and Pippin. Frodo escapes, he goes to the boats, and then Sam goes after him. And Frodo and Sam, they leave with the boats. And Sam needs to convince Frodo to let him go with him. He almost drowns, and then Frodo takes him out of the water. He grabs him out of the water, and he puts him on the boat. And then Sam tells him that he made a promise to Gandalf to always protect Frodo. And the two head off to Mordor, while Legolas and Gimli and Aragorn, they sort of really ponder what they should do. Legolas thinks that they should go after Frodo, but Aragorn is hesitant. And then Legolas understands that Aragorn doesn't mean to follow Frodo anymore. And so like Gimli is like, it has all been in vain. And then Aragorn tells him like, not if we stay true to one another. It's such a great quote. And then they decide to head out to save Merry and Pippin from a certain death, and they run after them. Sam and Frodo, they walk across the Emyn Muil toward Mordor. We see one last shot of Frodo telling Sam that he's glad that Sam came with him, because without Sam, he wouldn't have gotten very far. And Frodo acknowledges this in the future films. And so yeah, this movie ends with the one big cliffhanger, and it is awesome. It is epic. I absolutely love the Fellowship of the Ring. It's an A+ for sure. It is my favorite movie of all time. I absolutely adore it. It is just a fantastic film. And if you don't like it, like I don't understand you, but like to each his own. If you don't like these movies, I don't understand it personally. But yeah, to each his own, I guess. I just adore these movies. I think that they are masterpieces. So let me know what you thought about the Fellowship of the Ring, and did you see the new releases for its 25th anniversary? How many times have you seen these movies at this point? What is your favorite moment of Fellowship of the Ring? Let me know what you thought about the movies down in the comments below. Please like, comment, subscribe, and see you next time.